Hello students, uh, in this class we'll discuss stiffness matrix for truss members and for trusses. So we'll first try to develop the stiffness matrix from the basic concepts. Then we'll go for a generalized stiffness matrix for any truss member inclined at an angle at any angle. And then we'll apply this generalized stiffness matrix to one problem. We'll develop this class stiffness matrix for trusses. So we have developed stiffness matrix for beams in the last class. So today we'll see for trusses. Now, one example. Let us start of a one-dimensional member. Truss as a one-dimensional member. Now, two steel bars AB and BC. You see two steel bars AB and BC. AB and BC. Okay, so here is a pin connections. And two steel bars ABBC, cross sectional area is 20 mm square. So area is given. E value is given, kilonewton per millimeter square. Okay, and coordinates given. This is coordinate 1 and coordinate. So you have to use the step. You have to develop the stiffness matrix. Now, as you know, in case of trusses, there will be no moments. They are the frictionless hinges. So no moment they will carry, or there will be no member the moments will develop, or they cannot carry any moment. Now they will be only subjected to axial forces. There will be translations, but there will be no rotation here. Rotation will be equal to 0. Now member AB is 1 meter, member BC is 2 meter, and this is the coordinate 1 at B, coordinate 2 at C. So let us start doing this, solving the problem and developing the stiffness matrix. Now, axial stiffness of any truss member is given by simple formula, as you know, AE by L. AE by L. So this is called the axial stiffness. You multiply with the displacement, then we'll find the force. Force is equal to, as you know, K into D. So you know that if you know the displacements, multiply the axial stiffness, you will find the member forces. So this is the or a group truss. Now it is a one-dimensional member. So we can find the member stiffness AB is equal to AE by L. Okay. Axial stiffness of bar AB is equal to this. Similarly, axial stiffness of bar BC, that is 2 meter. So this is not AB, this is BC. So this is equal to axial stiffness of bar BC, not AB. So AE by L, AE remains same, and L is equal to 1000 millimeter. Here it is 1000 millimeter. So your E is in kilonewton per millimeter square. Area is in millimeter square. So it will be unit causes. And this is in millimeter. So millimeter square cancel. So it comes kilonewton per millimeter. So we find out the axial stiffness of AB and static stiffness of BC. Now, we'll find the stiffness matrix. So how to find the stiffness matrix? Now you see, to develop the first column of stiffness matrix, we have to apply a unit displacement at coordinate 1 and find out the forces required at 1 and 2. So that is the concept we have used for also beams. Now if you are applying a unity displacement at coordinate 1, then force required at coordinate this. So coordinate 1, coordinate 2. Okay. Coordinate 1 and coordinate 2. So if you are applying unit displacement, so the force developed here will be equal to from this side and from this side. So from this side is 4 kilonewton per millimeter for A, B, C. So when you are applying the unit displacement B, right? So there will be member force in AB and BC. So they will combine each other, BA and BC. So 4 plus 2 becomes 6 kilonewton. Now what will be at C? At C it will come from only BC. and that will be in the opposite direction. That will be minus 2 kilonewton. Okay, that will be minus 2 kilonewton. Similarly, if you develop apply unit force at 2, okay, so what will develop at B, that is only due to BC, so that will again minus 2, and what will develop at C, that is only 2. Okay, so it just like a spring. It will apply that's a spring stiffness, they will get a model by spring, so they will be opposing motions, so that will be minus and this will be plus. Okay, now we find out K116 minus 2. So first column 6 minus 2, second column minus 2. So this is the stiffness matrix developed for a two bars connected by the pins. Now what will be K into delta? Okay, so what is the given the displacement? Okay, so area is 20, and if you find the displacement is given 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.75. So this is a flexibility matrix. If you know K matrix, you can find the delta matrix. So delta matrix is obtained in somewhere else. So it has proved K delta is equal to 1, 1. So please note that. So if a member has the K matrix, okay, stiffness matrix, and if you try to develop this flexibility matrix, if you multiply is equal to 1, or if you know K matrix, delta is equal to K inverse. Delta is equal to K inverse. Okay, you can find the K inverse, it will come like this way. Okay, or if you know this delta matrix from somewhere, then you multiply K into delta, there will be 1, 1. So this becomes a identity matrix. So that is why it becomes a inverse to each other. So K matrix, stiffness matrix, and flexibility matrix for a system, they are inverse to each other. So that can be proved. For the same problem, if you find out this flexibility matrix will come like this way, and you can make this inverse of each other or multiply K into delta, that is equal to 1. Now let's go to the next problem. Now analyze the pin jointed cross by using stiffness method. Area cross section is 1000 for all. E is equal to 200 kilonewton per millimeter square, like the last. Now this is the problem given. Okay. Now this is the problem given. So A, B, C, D, they are the fixed, and my member OA, OB, OC, OD, they are at an angle of 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and this angle is 90 degree. Okay. This angle is 90. Now this height is 2.5 meter, and there is a force applied 1 kilonewton in this direction, 1 kilonewton in this direction. One is the vertical direction, one is the horizontal direction. Now you have to solve this by you have to develop the stiffness matrix for this problem, and you have to solve it by stiffness method. Now what is the degrees of freedom here? Degrees of freedom are 2. So one is vertical displacement, one will be horizontal displacement. Value 2 displacement, we have already discussed also earlier that there will be only translations in case of trusses. Okay, in case of trusses there will be translations, and there will be no rotation. So the translation at each this is only one joint here. All are fixed, so there will be 2 translation, one vertical, one horizontal. So degrees of freedom is 2 here. The coordinates are shown below. Let us see the coordinates. Solve the problem. Now we have the 2 stiffness. We have taken horizontal stiffness as 1, vertical stiffness is 2. Then you apply the unit displacement at 1. Find the force developed at 1 and 2. And similarly, apply unit force at 2. Try to develop the force at 1 and 2. That is how I will find the stiffness bar sheet in a tabular form. It has been shown. Now see. So before going to that, some members properties has been written here, so that it will be easy to find out the stiffness matrix. What are the member properties written here? So where members are meeting at OA, OA, OB, OC, and OD. Angles are 30 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree, and 60 degree. So now you write the members OA, OB, OC, OD. What is AE by L of each member? AE by L. Okay. What is AE by L? A is given area is equal to 1000, E is equal to 200. So AE by L. So you can find the length of the members. Okay. So that will give the value. So it is 2.5. 2.5. This is 30 degree. You can find member length. Okay. Sin 30 is equal to OC by OA. Sin 30 OC by OA. So it will be length will be 2.5 into 2 5. 5 meter. 5 meter means 5,000. So you can calculate the value now. So this has been omitted here. So for member OA, let me give an example. Member OA. So this you can take the triangle OCA. The triangle OC you can find out. This is 2.5 meter. So sin 30 is equal to, calculate the value. Sin 30 is equal to OC by OA. OC by OA. So OC by OA means OC by OA. What is the value of OA? OA is equal to OC 2.5 by sin 30 is equal to 1 by 2. So it becomes 5 meter. Now OA is 5 meters. So what will be AE by L? AE by L for OA will be equal to A is equal to 1000. E is equal to 200. Okay. Now the millimeter square, kilonewton per millimeter square, right? Divided by 5 meter make it 5,000 millimeter. So this will cancel. So 5,000, 1,000, that is come 5, and it is 200, right? 200 E. So 200 by 5 will be equal to 40. So this number is written as 40 kilonewton per millimeter. Okay. So you can see here. A is 40 kilonewton. What is the OC? I am giving OC. OC is 2.5. So what will A by L for OC? OC. For member OC, A by L. So 1000 into 200 by 2.5 meter. So 2,500. So 2020 cancel. 5 into 2, 5 into 5. 5 into, it will be so 20 is again 5552, and you can find here it is come 40. It's 200. Sorry, it's 200. So you can find the value. It comes around 80. 1000 into 200. 1000 into 200 divided by 25. So 5 by 240, 40 into 2, it will come around 80. So we'll find the member OC comes around 80. And now it is. So similarly, you can find out the length of each member from the geometry for any member. So angle is given 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree. So you can find the values. Now theta. How theta is measured? Theta is 150 degree for OA. For OA, it is written OA 150 degrees. So how it is measured now? Theta is measured from the axis in anti-clockwise direction. In anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So accordingly 150, 135, 90, and we find the value for this for all these members. So this angle theta is measured 150, 135, 90, and 60. Theta is measured in anti-clockwise direction. Let's try to understand. This is the reference line. So from the reference line, you measure in anti-clockwise direction. Number is like this. This angle given, so you can measure. You can measure from. So that angles are measured. Right. So this is 30. Total is 180. Okay, you can measure from here in this direction. So from the reference line. So from this reference line, now it is 150. It is 135. It is 90, and this is 60. So from the horizontal reference line, it is measured like that. So once you find these values, then you find the properties like the other values are giving the tabular form. That is AE by L cos square theta, AEL by cos theta sin theta, AEL by sin square theta. This is required because you are required to find out K11, K21, K22 to find out. Now K1N1 is equal to sigma AE by L cos square theta. Remember is at an angle theta, you can derive, we'll see in the next problem or next discussion how it is being obtained. Now sigma AEL cos square theta, that is equal to K11. Applying the load one direction, one means, so one is horizontal. If you apply the moment if you apply this in horizontal direction, if you apply in horizontal direction, then you will find K11 is like this. AE by L cos square theta. And what is 1 to 1 to 1? Cos theta into sin theta. And you apply in the vertical direction, it will be AE by L sin square theta. So these are these member stiffnesses. And for each members are meeting at joint, so you make sigma. Summation of all the things you find out. So this is by summation finding these things, you'll find out K11, K21, K12, K22. Okay. And what is P1, P2? The forces applied in the direction. So P1 applied in this vertical in this direction, that is positive, downward is negative. So you can put the value like that. Okay. So we can put that it is 40 and 60. Sorry, it is given 40 and minus 60. So you can put the values and then find out delta 1, delta. Okay, so these are 40 and 60, not minus 1, 2. You can see here. Values are not listed here. This is 40 kilonewton and 60 kilonewton. So page correction it is 40 and it is 60. 40 kilonewton, 60 kilonewton is applied. So accordingly, we can find the values. It's not 1, that is, if you put 1, then accordingly put 1. So you can also solve the problem. So P1, P2, so load is applied in this direction. It is 40 this direction and 60 in this direction. So in direction 1, it is towards right, so positive. Direction 2, it is towards down, so it is negative. Okay. So if these are the forces applied, now you can write the equation K delta E minus P. Okay. And find the P minus PL values. What the P minus PL? You'll find from here instead. Okay. And find the values from here. So that will give the value P is equal to 0, 0 and is 40 minus 60. P1, P2 is 40 minus 60. So you can put the values to find out this total nodes P minus PL. So then you can find this values. What is the inverse? Do the inverse and find the delta 1, delta 2. If you are able to find out delta 1, delta 2, okay, 0.465 and minus 0.31. Now what is the POA? POA. What is the POA? POA is equal to AE by L. Okay. Delta OX minus delta 1 cos theta OA. Delta, because you have the two directions, so components will come from two directions, from delta delta. And delta OX, delta OY is equal to 0. There is no displacement given here at the joints. So we can find out delta OX, delta OY 0. Delta 1, delta 2 value can find out POA. So similarly, you can find out POB, POC and POD. All the values can be obtained accordingly in the similar format. Okay, only the value of theta is going to change. So theta value will change. Delta 1, delta 2 remain same. And delta OX, delta OY everywhere is equal to 0. So by putting these things, you can find the member forces, the forces in the member. Now let us go for this generalized calculation of this stiffness of the process. We'll now see how to develop stiffness matrix for a cross member. So how to develop stiffness matrix of cross member. Now let's consider a cross member in local coordinates. Okay. Now if this is a cross, you take this as x dash, this is y dash, n is the near end, f is the far end. N is the near end, f is the far end. Now here the displacement is given dn. For positive displacement, dn in local axis x dash and y dash coordinates. The force developed will be AE by L dn, AE by L dn here, and the forces. This will be Qn dash, and here we oppose, that will be Q. So when you are applying the unit displacement here, you have to lock here. So this will be pinned. Now you are applying force here, this force will be opposite. So that is why when this is plus, this is minus. And we have seen AE by L minus AE by L. Other side will come minus AE by L. Now for positive displacement dn, local x, these are local x, y. This is not the global x, y. Global x, y will be vertical and horizontal. Along this member cross, we take this axis of the member as the x direction. Perpendicular to this is taken as y. Now if a positive displacement towards right is positive. So for a positive displacement in local x dash and y dash coordinate, the forces developed at the ends members will be like this. Now what will be the Q n dash? Q n dash will be AEL by dn. This AEL by dn. So this will be minus. QF dash will be minus this. Now here, if you now in the second case, if you hinge the near end and apply unit displacement df in the f end, so force developed will be here. QF will be AE by L df, and here will be opposite to that. If this is positive this direction, this will be negative. Right? For positive displacement df at the far end, keeping the near end pinned local xy coordinates, the forces developed at the end members will be Qn dash minus QF dash plus. So that means when you are applying a dn here, this will be AEL by dn positive. This Q dash F will be AEL by dn negative. Similarly, if you apply here df here, AEL by df will be equal to positive for this end and negative is for this. So now by superposition of these things, if you apply D and df both, apply dn and df both at both the ends, what will the situation? By applying dn and df at both ends, what will find out? It will be like this. Now summation of these things. So due to the one, the force is AEL by dn. For second, it is AE by L into df minus. Similarly, for the QF at the far end, the force will be AEL by df positive, or the df positive, and here it will be minus AEL by dn. But while applying dn, the force will be minus. So you just add these forces. Here are the forces, here is the forces, and here is the forces, here is the forces. So these force at this end, this force and this force is to be added. Here this force and this force is to be added, right? So both the things here. Here Qn dash plus Qn double dash. So one this is positive, this is negative. It is AEL dn, it is AEL df minus. Similar here AEL df plus AEL by dn minus. So accordingly you have to write the equation. Clear? Now if you write in matrix format that the load displacement for matrix for this member stiffness for this cross member is equal to this AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Just see here dn df. So 1 minus 1, dn is minus 1 1. You write here dn this side, df this side. So minus 1 1. So this is basically is called as the stiffness matrix. This is known as K dash or K what you say. That is called stiffness matrix for a truss member, where the axis coordinates are taken along this member axis. That is the local coordinate. You are taking the member axis along this member. So if this member is like this, you are taking this as the local coordinate, and this is perpendicular this you are taking the y coordinate, right? X dash y dash. But actual xy global will be like this. We'll see how will transform from here to here. So whatever you find the stiffness matrix here for cross member, this is for the local coordinate along the member stiffness member axis. It is AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay. Now let us go for a cross member incline now. And the displacement and force transformation matrix for a cross member along the global directions. So I have told this is a near end, far end, and this is your global x direction. This is a global y direction. This is the local x direction. This is the local y direction. These two are perpendicular to each other. These two are perpendicular to each other. Let the member makes an angle theta x with the x axis, theta y is the y axis in a global direction, right? So in the global direction, you have the x and y angles are theta x and theta y. So theta x plus theta y is 90 degree, right? Now let us try to develop. Now what it says, let consider a truss member inclined and transformation of member forces and displacement. Displacement is D matrix, your dn and df, and member force q in the local coordinate x dash y dash shown in figure. So these are the local. These are the local x dash and y dash. These are local. Okay. This is the far end. This is the near end. Now if you are applying here dn, okay, dn is a force, and it has two components. One will be here and one will be here. You can find the forces. Now what it says, positive for x axis is taken towards right, y axis taken positive up. Theta x is angle with the horizontal, theta is the angle with the vertical, as shown in here. Theta y is the member, okay, theta y is vertical, theta x with the horizontal. Now you'll find the coordinate or the component of the force along this direction. So dnx cos theta x, dny cos theta y. We find these relationships. Okay. Now cos theta is equal to this by this. Cos theta is equal to this by this. Right? So what is this? This is equal to this into cos theta. So you can find the local, you can convert to global. Now let us give some names. Lambda x is equal to cos theta x, lambda y is equal to cos theta y. To make it simpler calculations, let's give the notations lambda x, lambda y. So you won't write number of times cos theta x, cos theta y. So you nomenclatures given cos theta x, lambda x, cos theta y, lambda y. Now what is a df? df is equal to dfx cos theta x plus dfy cos theta y. Now see, df, the displacement. So displacement in the global and local. dfx cos theta x and dfy cos theta y. So dfx lambda x, dfy lambda y. Similarly, you can find out dnx cos theta x, dny cos theta y. So d near end, n means near end, xy is the axis, global axis, and d and df are the displacements. See here. Okay. And find the values. dny cos theta y, dfy cos theta y, dfx cos theta x, dnx cos theta x. Right. Now, what is the capital dnx? Capital dnx, capital dny are in the global directions. They are in the global directions. You can see in the figure given the global directions. Now dfx is the global. You will find here this side it will be cos theta x. Okay, dfx cos theta x. Cos theta x is equal to this by this. So if it is dfx, this will be dfx cos theta x, right? Similarly, if it is dnx, it will be dnx cos theta x. So in the global direction, the displacements are capital D. Small d is the directions in the local axis. Right? Don't confuse. These are the things. Small d along the local axis, capital D along global axis. Now small d will be equal to dn at the df end. So displacement and x direction into cos theta x, displacement and y direction cos theta y. So dfx lambda x, dfy lambda y. Similarly, dnx lambda x, dny lambda y. Now in the matrix format, how will I write down this? There are four unknowns. Four things: dnx, dny, dfx, dfy. Because at each end we have the two displacements. So at each joint we have two things. Okay. So it is a member. Okay. So global. These are global directions. So at the near end, dnx, dny. At the far end, dfx, dfy. Right. So these are the global displacement directions. So we can calculate the values. Now if there is global values, then what is the local values? Now from here, dn is equal to lambda x, dnx, lambda y, dny. So lambda x 0, 0, lambda and dnx, dny, 0, 0, lambda x, lambda y, dfx, dfy. This is how they are related. The displacement in local coordinate is related to displacement in global coordinate by means by matrix. What is the matrix? This is the matrix, right? So now we can write down this is small d. This is the transpose matrix. Okay, and this is the D matrix in the global. So the local displacement and global displacements in case a truss member inclined is related by the matrix. At the transpose matrix, lambda x lambda y 0 0 0 0 lambda x lambda y. Lambda x is equal to cos theta x. Lambda y is equal to cos theta y. Theta x is the angle that the member make with the global horizontal axis, and cos theta y is the angle which the inclined member makes with the global y axis, right? So this is how we find the things. You can see here. See the given the picture below. Okay. So these are these global and local concepts. Theta x, theta y, qn, qnx, qny, qf, qfx, qfy. Now come to the forces. How the forces will be related now. So similarly, you can write out qnx. Qnx is equal to qn cos theta x, qny, qn cos theta y. So you can write the values. Now they will be related. This is the global forces. This is the local forces related by this transpose matrix. So this is the transpose of transpose matrix. Okay. This is called the force transversal matrix. That was the displacement transform matrix, and this can be called as the force displacement matrix. If this is T, this is the T transpose. This is the force transformation matrix. Same thing, lambda x cos theta x lambda y, like that. That was D related with the capital D. Now here capital Q is related with the small q, Q1, Qn. So T transpose Q, T transpose force transposition. Now let us come to the more better way of representing the things. Now, what is Q? T transpose Q. What is Q? K dash D. And what is D? Transpose into capital. Now put everything here. So T transpose Q. In Q place put K dash D. Okay. Now K dash D. D is equal to T transpose. Now if you put here, what is the Q matrix? T transpose K T E. Now T transpose KT is called the member stiffness matrix, the global coordinate. In the local coordinate, what is the matrix? AE by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. That is your K dash, right? We have seen the beginning. AE by L, this is the K dash. AE by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 is called the stiffness matrix in the local coordinate. Now if we go to global coordinate, what is the stiffness matrix? It is nothing. T transpose K dash T. What is the T matrix? Lambda x lambda y 0 0 0 0 lambda x lambda y. What is the T transpose? This is the column matrix. Now if you multiply all these things, this becomes your K matrix. So K matrix was AE by L minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 the local axis. The global it will be a 4 by 4 matrix. They will multiply by this. So it is a symmetrical matrix, you see. Okay, that is a minus value, plus value, lambda x square, lambda y, lambda x, lambda y minus 4. This is symmetry matrix. It will by this side diagonal, then the other side will be plus will be set. So what will put here? Only lambda x is equal to cos theta x, lambda y is equal to cos theta. That's all. So we'll find this. So you have to remember this is the force transformation matrix that we have developed, and then if you multiply, you will find this is the member stiffness matrix of any member inclined at angle theta to the x-axis. Okay, so you can now again I am explaining. So this is the member. This member is subjected to here at angle theta x and theta y. Okay. So cos theta x is lambda x, cos theta y is the lambda y, and put here. You can find out these values lambda x, lambda y, then you can find the member stiffness of each member. So if there is so many members at a joint, you combine it to find out the global stiffness matrix. So this is called the stiffness matrix of the member in global coordinate. Global means this is x, This is y. What is local? This is x dash. This is x dash. This is y dash. X dash, y dash. So put the values to find out this relationship, and you can find out this global and local stiffness. So I think you understand how to find out the local and global stiffness matrix of a member. So then look with some examples. Stiffness matrix for the whole truss can be obtained by assembling all member stiffness matrices in global coordinates. The four port numbers to identify two global degrees of freedom at each end of the line. So to what we have done, at each end we have this x and y in global coordinate. So that is the basics. So for a truss member, at each end we have the two global coordinates, 1 and 2, horizontal and vertical. So accordingly we can find the values, right? So let us see the problems, how we have to solve the problems by using this matrix. Using this matrix we have to solve them. See, this is a truss. Calculate the stiffness matrix or the truss shown in figure. So this figure is shown 3, 4, 5. So angle can be obtained. So these are hinged. This is hinged. Hinged. So at each end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the. This is the member 1. This is member. Member 1 is connected 1, 2, 3, 4. Member 2 is connected to 1, 2, 5, 6. So which you are taking near end, which far end, that depends you. So now you can find out the values. Number 1, theta x is equal to 0. Okay. Theta x is equal to 0. Theta y 90 degree. And theta x here will be find the angles. And that is tan theta is equal to 4 by 3. Let's go to the problem. Because you know these coordinates, you can find out the lambda x, that is cos theta x, that is equal to 1. Okay, lambda x cos 0 1, lambda y 0 for member 1. For this member, we have to find out the value of theta x and theta y that we have to put in the stiffness matrix for the global direction. In the global x and y, x and y. Taking all the global, we are not taking local. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At each end, coordinates. Now, as I have told, they are connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can write down this matrix like this way. Here also. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just put the value that lambda x is equal to 1, lambda y 0. This is the matrix. The matrix 4 by 4. The 4 by 4 matrix being developed for the member 1. Now come to member 2. In member 2, what is the cos theta? Cos theta is equal to cos theta. So this is 5. Cos theta 3 by 5. Sin theta is equal to 4 by 5. So cos theta x is equal to 0.6. Cos theta y is equal to 0.8. So lambda x is equal to 0.6. Lambda y is equal to 0.8. Right. Now what will the value will come here? Member 2. So member 2 is here. This is your member 2, right? Joining here to here. So this is your coordinate 1. This is your coordinate 2. This is your coordinate 5. This is the coordinate 6, right? So what will you find here in the matrix? 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5. So these are the values you will obtain matrix. That matrix was 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the meaning of this? So what is this element? This is K1, 2. What is this element? K 5 6. So right, you can write this is K 5 6. You have to understand. So now in this matrix, put the value of lambda x and lambda y. Lambda x is given 0.6, lambda y is 0.8. Just multiply these things and write all these coefficients. You can find, if you find this line, you will find this diagonal line. So this side, this is minus 0.9, so this is minus 0.8. So they are symmetric. So these stiffness matrices are symmetric in nature. That you should understand. If you find one side, other side must the similar values will come, so that you can cover. That means what here? We have taken 1, 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, 5, 6. What is this? This is equal to K 1, 6. First column, and here row is 6. If come here, what is this? K 6. So the 6th column and row is 1. So K16 is equal to K61. So that valid for matrix Kij is equal to Kji. So this we have already discussed. So that is valid again here. Now we find the two member stiffness matrix. One is both are 4 by 4. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is 1, 2, 5, 6. Now you have to combine. How to combine it? That is the assembling the matrix. So that is what is K? K is equal to K1 plus K2. Now what is, how will find K1 plus K2? Okay. Now here at the coordinate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let me explain here. Here you have matrix. Okay. What is the matrix here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And plus what you have to add? You have to add it here 1, 2, 5, 6. And also this side 1, 2, 5, 6. Now here this term is K11. So where we get K11 term? This is K11. This is also K11. This matrix. So these both will be added to find K11. Get my point? Now suppose you want K12. Here it is. What is this? K12. Is there any term K12? Yes, there is a here K12 term. You can add. Now you want K44. So this is K44. Is there any K44 term here? There is no K44 term here. So this only term will come here as K44. K4, K4. This is 0, so 0 will come here. Okay. So all here is 1, 2, here is 1, 2. So these 4 terms will be added and will be put here as these 4 terms. Others will remain just like that. Now you can check this. You can check this K11. Here K11 is 0.072. Here it is 0.333. You just add it. 3 plus 2, 5. 7301. Okay. 0.405. So it must be 0.405. This is 0.405. The second term 0.096. Here it is 0. So you will add 0 and 0.96. It will be 0.096. So this will be same as this. Now K2. What is K22? K22. 1, 2, 3, 4. So K22 is equal to 0 here. What is K22 here? 0.128. So 0 plus 0.128, it becomes 0.18. Okay. Now let me check another thing. I will tell you. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose you are interested K14. Well, find K14. We find the 1, 2, 3, 4. You go to 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 0 here. Okay. So 0 here, K, 1, 4. Go to first matrix. K1, this is K1, this is 4. K1 for 0. So it must be 0 here. Okay. Now I think you understand how to do the assembling of the matrix. So you have to assemble the matrix, and then you can find out the. Now this is the global stiffness matrix of the truss. If you know the displacements, then you can write here. If you know the forces, you can write here. K delta will give the force. Now this 4 by 4 matrix, 4 by 4 matrix. They are now combined. You find a 6 by 6 matrix. This is a 6 by 6 matrix. Because two coordinates are same, 1, 2, 1. So finally the global stiffness matrix for the truss becomes 6 by 6. Remember 1 and 2. Now let us go to the last problem. What the problem says? Same problem. Calculate the member forces reaction the truss by stiffness method. The load is given here 2 kilonewton. If a 2 kilonewton load is applied, here, 2 kilonewton, then what is the member forces for this problem? Now for the finding member forces, you have to now see this problem. What are the situation? What are displacements? Displacement at 3. Okay. What are the coordinates you have given? Give the coordinates. They are given 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and we have given 5 and 6. Okay. These are given here 5, 6. I see the displacement at 5, displacement at 6, displacement at 3, displacement at 4. All are 0 because all are being hinged, so they are 0. What is the force applied in the direction 1? 0. Force applied in direction 2 is -2 because vertical forces is taken plus, so downward taken minus. So this is the situation of this problem. So if you find the matrix that K into delta is equal to P, okay, deltas are now given. D1, D3, D4, D5, D6 are 0. D1, D2 you can find out, right? Others are 0. Similarly, only one force applied force is given, that is Q2 on the direction 2, that is equal to -2. And you don't know reactions at 3, 4, 5, 6, the reactions are to be found out because these reactions should be there. That is the unknowns. So those are to be found. So you have to find out the displacement at D1, D2, then you can find these unknown forces. Let's see how the problem is solved. Now you see stiffness matrix already in the previous problem. 0, -2, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. These are unknowns. Okay. Now we have already developed the stiffness matrix, so don't develop again. So directly we have put the stiffness matrix already developed for this problem 6 by 6 matrix. Now displacements are the unknowns at 1 and 2, other are 0. Okay. Now you have to solve this matrix. So you have to separate the matrix now. I am interested D1, D2. So what I can do, D1, D2, I can take 2 here. Here 1, 2, I can take this. So we can separate. There is written like we can separate like this. Now this D1, D2, and this is the matrix for this D1, D2. These are the forces in the D1, D2. Just write that 0, -2. This is the stiffness matrix for that, and D1, D2 is the unknowns, and there is no imposed displacements. There is no delta L. Imposed displacement or the forces are applied at the joints. Okay. So there is no forces applied at the joints. Because of the member forces the development. So now what will do? Just inverse the matrix. By inverse the matrix, you can find the D1, D2 value. Getting my point? So because it is 6 by 6 matrix, 2 are unknowns. So you do the method of separating the matrices, and then you can write and find the D1, D2. Okay. Once you find the D1, D2 matrix, then you can find Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. How to find Q3, Q5? What is Q3? Now Q3, third. So this third row is multiplied with this column. That means minus 0.33 into D1 plus 0 into D2, all are 0. That will give the value of Q3. See. And I'm taking Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. You can take this and 0, 0, 0. Minus 0.3 into 4.505, 0 into this. So you can take also this. Okay, this. So you can separate like this, you have separate like this. Okay, now you can multiply this, you can find this member Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. These are the reactions. Okay. So, or you can take the one entire 6 by 6 as you like, but all are 0, so only two columns can be taken. So here 2 columns are taken, and 0, 0 is the forces under joints. We can find this value. Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. Okay. Once you find Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6, now you can find the force in each member. So member 1, what is Q1? Number 1, what is Q1? AE by L. Lambda x, lambda y minus lambda x minus lambda y into dnx, dny, dfx, dny. N means near end, F means far end. Okay, we can put the value 1, 0, minus 1, 0. 1, 0, minus 1, 0 for Q1, member 1. Okay. Lambda y 0, lambda x is equal to this. So you can put the Q matrix with these values dnx, dny, dfx, dfy. So dnx, dfx, dfy, you can put the values, you can find this. Like 4.505. 19.03, we have find these values, and we can put here. Okay. Similarly, can put here the values dnx, dny, dfx, dfy. You can find the member force Q1, Q2. Okay, the member can be. So you can put here. So 1 into 4.5. Here 4.5, all are 0. So this will be 0 perhaps. So minus 1 into, it will be 0 here. Okay. And 0 and 0. So it will come only 4.5 divided by 3. That will become 1.5 kilometer. Okay. So this is how we can obtain the values of this Tross problems and solve the Tross problem, find the member forces in each case. So with this we stop this stiffness matrix solving this Tross by stiffness method. Thank you for attending this class, and have a great day. Thank you.